or the truth can change you. What will truth do to you?
Hello there, my beautiful and handsome listeners and viewers. How are you today? How has your day been? Mine has been beautiful because I have got a beautiful mind. You are welcome to your reality talk show, Beautiful Mind. This is the show that says no to stigmas, discriminations, and any judgmental attitude. On this show, we talk about issues that are considered as taboo, the people generally do not like to talk about publicly because of shame. Our aim is to let people know that they are not alone and they do not need to suffer in silence. Beautiful Mind believes that everyone deserves love and respect, regardless of their past, their education, religion, color, and sexual orientation. This is an educative and informative that wants you, viewers, to see beauty in everybody, regardless of what they are going through. You're welcome on board. Why don't you grab yourself a cup of tea, hot chocolate, water, coffee, soup, whatsoever that makes you feel comfortable. Please sit down and come along with us. And if you're coming back from work and you're driving and listening via our online radio, Peace and Joy, please drive carefully as you enjoy the show. Remember that you can connect with us on all our social network and you can give us a call here in the studios on 0161 248 773 extension 5. And if you want to send us a text outside UK, please send it on +44 79 603 91983. I repeat that, 079 603 91983. And you can send your views, your comments, your contribution on all our social media. Remember, today's topic is something that I am so passionate about. And I am not just saying that because I am a woman, no, but it is because it is something that we have to come together to talk about, as a community, as a family, and so that we will be able to stop this and to create that awareness. That is why I am passionate about this topic today. And the topic is domestic violence. What if is not the abuser's fault? That is what my guest have got to say to us this afternoon. When she said that, I was like, I wonder what our viewers would say. Should she stay? This is the question I want to ask you, our viewers and listeners. My guest is saying, what if it's not his fault? But if it's his fault or not his fault, you, as my listeners today and my viewers, I want to hear your views. Do you think one should stay in an abusive environment? I want to hear from you. So my guest today, in our virtual studio is somebody so beautiful, so calm talking. And, I've just met this woman of recent, but I can tell you, she's a strong woman. Wow. Today, I have got Adetutu in our virtual studio, and she will be helping us on today's topic. Please do not go anywhere because today's topic is going to be informative and educative. If you're just joining us for the very first time and you're meeting me or coming across me for the very first time, my name is Adeyinka Adeomi, and I am your host of this show, Beautiful Mind, that comes up live every Wednesday on YouTube and on Facebook. Yes, you can check us out on YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Right, Adetutu, I've met you and I know a bit about you, but some people might be meeting you for the very first time today. Can you please introduce yourself to my viewers and my listeners?
As I said, my name is Adetutu Oteju Ajet. I'm a civil servant and I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a mom of four, and to God be the glory, I'm a saved servant of the Most High God. Thank you, Yinka.
Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. I do really, really appreciate your time. I don't take people's time for granted at all.
Thank
Thank you very much. And you coming out to do this, I believe it is a big, bold step that you're taking. I don't know, for some reason, most of our guests of recent, this is their first time they are sharing their story. So
you.
please help me make identity comfortable this afternoon. And one of the ways that you can make her feel comfortable and show our love is by sharing this video. I want you to help us share this video because she wants to be sharing something that will be an eye opener for all of us, and that will liberate most of us today, and not just women and men as well. So please help us share this video because I believe somebody needs to see it. And that person that needs to see it might be on your wall. And that is why you have to share this video right now. Thank you very much. Right, we're going to go straight into today's topic, which is domestic violence. What if the abuser is not the fault of the abuser? Right, Adetutu, can you share with us, briefly how you two met? Was it love at first sight? I've heard people say, God, when I met my husband, it was love at first sight. And some have said, the love, developed over time. Was it love at first sight for you?
Thank you, Yinka. I won't exactly say it was love at first sight, but obviously there was interest there. I would say it was kindness at first sight. I was attracted to an act of kindness that I saw him portray, not directly to me, but to somebody else. And I think that was my aspect of love at first sight, because I am big on being kind to people, regardless who we are, regardless where we're coming from. So I'll say it was kindness at first sight. And then over time, and then as we progressed along, getting to know one another, then love came into it.
Wow, thank you very much for that. Can you please share with us, how loving, because you said he was really kind. And before we start going deeper, I really want people to have a view of this person that we are talking about. Because sometimes people just believe once they hear the word domestic violence or domestic that person is evil, that person is bad, But I just wanted to share with us briefly, how loving this person we're about to talk about is to you.
Thank you, Yinka, for that. I'll start by saying, in each and every one of us, there is good part and there is the other side. So I'll say if you meet somebody for the first time, obviously, or before the storming part of any relationship, the start, of course, everything will be lovey-dovey and everything. But having said that, apart from just the first time syndrome, we've just met and everything is at the honeymoon stage. In my experience, from my personal experience with this person was very kind, very nice, somebody that will literally plug their eyes out for somebody else. Somebody that will literally go out of their way to do something for somebody else, not as an act, but because that was his nature. He had that as a nature. He's somebody that looks out for other people, so to say. Is big on community, is big on bringing people together, is big on going the extra. He won't even think about it. I can remember initially it was even not a big deal, but I was looking at that because it was the kind of person that would not have food in the house and we give everything that he has to somebody else, that you will not have a shirt on your back, literally, as the Bible says, and you give the one that you have, you give it to somebody else and give the coat on top of it. So it was that kind of a person, which I think in most of us, everybody's got that anyway, regardless when we get what happens when you now get to the stormy side of the relationship. So as you rightly asked, he was he was a very kind person. He was a nice person. He has a lot of good aspects. He cares about children so much. I'm an introvert and he is an extrovert. So he's somebody that will see you not comfortable for the first time and will go out of his way to make you feel comfortable, talk to you, make you feel nice and compliment and all of that. Yes. So it was what you would expect from, so as you say, what you would expect from a gentleman and somebody, like ladies, they're nice, kind, romantic, with others. And he's somebody that, a part of where we came from, Nigeria, is somebody that you say, if you take home, you have to be careful because it's somebody that will literally serve you food, get into the kitchen, cook for you, serve you food, take the plate away, bring back water for you to wash your hands. And take it back. So in that way, there was nothing to complain about.
Thank you very much. I just want to ask our viewers and listeners today, is that a good sign? Because I've heard people talk about sign, and I want to ask you, they say that when they're too nice, you have to be careful. When they're not nice, you have to be careful. So I want our viewers to help us today. Please do not leave this topic to just the two of us here. I really want to hear your view. Right, Adetitu, I have heard that there are signs which become apparent during courtship that people choose to ignore. They say these signs are there, but some people choose to ignore them because they say love is blind and they don't see during courtship. So I want you to reflect back, before you answer this question, take a minute to reflect, on the beginning of your relationship. Did you notice any abusive part of him during your courtship?
This is not a popular opinion. I think when we were talking before we went over this, that it is not a popular opinion, and I've sat in conversation, and I'm not taking away from that you will see signs that there will be those things that will tell you to watch out for. Like you said, that if somebody is too nice, like we all individuals, and this way we perceive things and this way we put gateways about things that we do. As I said, that somebody might think, oh, if somebody is too nice, there's something that's like, if it's too good to be true, it's not true. Yeah, and somebody cannot be too nice. I personally take away from that person. I'm a very nice person. I know I am, and I know I can do all those things without having the backbone of I'm just too nice, so there's something wrong with me. I struggle with this with people for a while that, like you're very suspicious that they're too nice. What do they want? They're too nice. Do you understand? And because of that, we most times shield ourselves back and not allowing ourselves to receive help. Not even from opposite sex to one another, even from females to female, male to male. Think, oh, this person is too nice. I don't know you. Why are you being nice to me? So I just want to clear that off, that it is not about if somebody is too nice. Yeah, we expect each other to be nice. I'm not going to look out for you not to be nice to me and I will roll with that. No. So having said that, and people to say there will be signs then. As I said before, I'm not taking away from that. In my personal experience, they said there's always an exception to any case sometimes. And that was my case. And I've had a lot of back and forth regarding this. There was no sign. There was really no sign. I didn't see him shout at someone, beat somebody up. In that period of time that we were courting, there was, apart from the normal, okay, maybe I can say, oh, you've done that, I don't like it, we disagree. Let me say we disagree. So there was nothing that pointed out of the box that this signs, watch out for. And I can tell you, and it's not because I was blinded by love, I didn't say it. I was a proper, I'm out proper street. So I was, do you understand? At the point that we met, I was quite a young girl, and at that age, I was still, I have this thing proper that I know what I want. You can't bring nonsense before me. You can't bring nonsense around me. So it wasn't a case of a person or a lady or a girl that doesn't know what to look out for. Having from my own background, at that age, I was conscious of what I wanted in a man and in a marriage.
Thank you. Thank you very much. But I still want to ask our viewers and listeners this question. Do you think she was blinded by love, or she chose to ignore those signs? I really want you to help us this afternoon. And again, it's not just because of Adetutu, it's because of all the people that are, about to go into a relationship, or they are in that relationship right now, so that they might open their eyes wide open. And that is why I'm asking you this question. Right, again, Adetutu, some people say that everything was okay during courtship, but that, after the courtship, immediately after the marriage, everything just changed. When did you start realizing that there is a problem, and what actually happened?
Thank you, Yinka. Before I answer that question, I'll quickly draw back on the previous question.
Mm-hmm.
Because from personal experience, a lot of people don't agree with the fact that you wouldn't have seen any sign at the initial stage. And you said something about people that want to get into relationship, or they're looking to get into relationship.
Yeah.
Because this happened to me, and I know it's the reality of things, that it's possible for you not to see the signs, not because you're blinded by love, not because you just got carried away hoping that it will change along the line, but really and truly, it is possible that the person has been there for one reason or the other. They've not exhibited those signs, because they were not under the pressure at that time, or they were in a very good place or something, whatever their triggers were, they were not experiencing it in that time. I just say to people going into relationship that, in hindsight, what I would have said was, sit down with the person, ask the question, ask people around. If of course it's a deal breaker for anyone. If I were to leave it back now, there's certain direct questions that I would ask people, not because they've exhibited it, but just so that I can cross it out. Yes, you might say it will lie to you, but then if he lied to you and say, oh, of course, I'm not violent, I'm not, then if it happens, you have something to go back to. Okay, so I just go back on that one. And going to the question that you asked again. So what's the question again? Now I've gone off point.
Did it change, during courtship?
When did I realize that?
When did you start realizing that there was a problem, and what actually happened?
I will tell you, Yinka, it wasn't that there was anything. It just came out of the blues. I can still remember till I die. I will remember we were seated having a conversation, and he had to go off to go receive a phone call, and the phone call was tensed. He's had an argument over the phone with the other person on the other side of the phone and everything, and he came back into the living room, and I asked, is there any problem? What was going on? And boom, he snapped and launched out at me.
Wow.
So that was the first time that I knew, and I was just dazed. As if I was seeing somebody different. It literally, as I said, it is not a popular opinion, and it's not a popular. Most times when we discuss it this way, it seems as if people find it difficult to really say that, because domestic violence has had all this attribute, like, okay, it's this way, it comes this way, it comes that way. And if there is nothing that we've done, if the only thing that we're able to do today is to say there is an exception to every rule. It might not necessarily happen in the steps that we've formed domestic violence into, because it didn't happen in my own case that way.
Thank you very much, Adetutu. But I've got something to read out for you now from one of our viewers on Facebook. I hope you have shared this on your wall as well, Adetutu, because I want friends and followers to be able to see what is going on. Lioness Oluwatosin, thank you very much for joining us all the way from London. Mammy Queen, thank you very much, all the way from Cameroon. What Lioness is saying that she thought that you are a child of God, and she believed that as a child of God, you should have dreamt that it is not a nice, that nice person you thought it was, that, you should have dreamt about it, or God should have told you something about it. She wants to know why you were in the dark, even as a child of God.
That as a child of God, I should have dreamt about it. Wow.
Somebody walk up to you to tell you about his character or something about him.
that is a different situation. If you, as you said, maybe somebody has walked up to me, but in the case of because I'm a child of God, I should have dreamt. Now, okay, that is something different. That is definitely something different. We all dream, but then I don't think the fact that I did not dream that it was violent, that or that it was this certain way, that it takes away from the fact that yes, I'm a child of God, and it doesn't take away from the fact that okay, it happened the way that it happened. Do you understand me?
Yeah,
yes, I prayed about it. Yes, I did pray about it, and but the dream part of it, well, I did not dream, and there was no. I think maybe if I'm reading the person that messaged right, is from the fact that okay, maybe go ask or go pray about it and see if this person is your man or is not your man. I don't indulge in such things. I pray that I can directly go to God, pray to God, come back and listen to him, and then back it up by the word of God.
So she went further to ask if somebody saw a revelation for you or a vision. I just want to talk on that. Thank you very much, Adetitu. It is not everybody that we see in our dream, that are bad, that are actually bad physically or in real life. I don't know, maybe
let me even, sorry to cut you short, let me comment on that.
Yeah.
I would not treat a certain or any issue or any situation in my life basically on a dream. Nothing in my life would I just, apart from the fact that I've slept and I've dreamt, and it's in line with the word of God. And it's in line with what I've read in the Bible. I am not going to just base decision making, each to his own. I understand. I'm a dreamer. I dream a lot of the things that has happened in my life that I've dreamed about, that I've seen. But then in making decisions, I will not just sit down and expect that a dream is going to direct me, because you can dream from a lot of places. You can dream from your imagination. You can dream from your consciousness. You can dream from your trauma. You can dream from a lot of things. So I'm not going to. Hello?
Thank you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I thought I lost it there. So I'm not going to base my life decision on a dream. And as I said before, I'm not one to go to pastors or go to prophets and say, oh, okay, come and pray for me. I'm not saying that is wrong. I do, as I said, I'm a child of God. My pastor prays for me. But that I would say, we've prayed about it at the time I prayed about it. My pastor prayed about it at that time. But not necessarily go check, is this person or good or bad? And the pastor will come back to me and say, okay, you can marry him. Okay, you cannot marry him. No, I expect that the pastor will sit us down, ask us about, okay, what do you see? What don't you see? What is the relationship about? Are you born again? Are you not born again? And what are your compatibility and what all those notes? Not just based on the fact that, okay, go dream.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I believe you've stressed that enough. Please do not base your life partner on just dream. Base it on the word of God. Does it have the fruit of the Holy Spirit? What are you feeling towards this person? What is his purpose? Where is he going? What is it that you see in him that you love about him? You have to really, really sit down and think. Don't just let your heart do the thinking and the dream do the decision making, but it has to be you. You have to be fully aware, based on the word of God, based on your purpose, based on his purpose in life, based on what is it that you want to achieve from the marriage, and based on how it is family, a lot of things, not just dream, not just revelation. Please don't do that. Thank you very much for that question as well, Lioness Oluwatosin. Right, let's move forward. So what action did you take afterwards when it launched at you all of a sudden? What was his reason? Because I know when some people, when they call this sober reflection and they will come back and give some reason. What was his reason? What reason did he give for laying his hands on a pretty lady like yourself? And did you, as a person, forgive him straight away, or when he asked for forgiveness?
I think if I remember correctly, as I said, I was dazed. And I think throughout that day, I just couldn't talk. I couldn't do anything. It was like I was paralyzed. I couldn't. Yes, he after a while he started saying sorry, started apologizing, but I was just in a place that I just couldn't talk and I couldn't process anything. So I left it that day, and then I think the following day, and I called him and like, okay, Oga, what happened? Where is this coming from? How far? From where to where? How come? I didn't even say anything like that, warranted that. And I think, yeah, I stupid. Well, his excuse was that, yeah, because the conversation that it came out from was really something that was sensitive to him, which, yeah, I got to know over time that that particular situation, when he gets in that particular situation, he just loses it. And it's something that was very sensitive to him because it's about family. And he didn't realize, he didn't know that he lodged out at me.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, this one cannot work. This one cannot work. And he apologized and he apologized again and again. And yes, I forgave. Yes, I forgave him, and days passed. Though the memory was still bing, 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 bing in my head. But I felt, okay, well, I'm not going to pack up my marriage because of this one issue, blah, 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 and all of that. And we just moved on from it.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing that. It's not an easy thing to come and share on air. So thank you. Thank you very much for this bold step that you're taking. And I believe that you are, liberating a lot of women that are about to make that decision of a life partner right now, to pray about it, to look carefully, and to ask the right questions.
Yeah. Ask the right questions.
So how long were you into this relationship, during this period of Gbagbo, like you said? How long were you in that relationship for?
If from the beginning of the relationship, of the courtship, everything was fine. I think the first incident happened at about 4 to 5 years into the courtship. When the first incident happened, and it just sort of spiraled down from there. Wow. I think for him, having come out of that cage, having come out of that, and I've seen it just kind of just then spiral down and down and down, and it got really bad. And I think from the space of about less than a year after that a lot of things happened, I decided to walk.
Okay, before you walked, did you tell anybody during this period? And if you did not, why?
See, this is one of the biggest factor of DV. For the people that are going through it, I think the first thing that eats you about it is the shame. I didn't discuss it with anyone, not anyone. And that, I think coming from my head at that point in time was, me. Did you know, like me, Jim? Me. Like, I think my head was thinking, hey, these people that were saying they wanted me then, and I was saying, no. So all these people would now see that I'm being turned into that. And then I was thinking, how would they look at me? How would they look at him? How would I walk in? How would the church look at me? And I just felt a whole lot of shame.
Wow.
I think that was one of the factors that, and then from a place as well, I was thinking I would look stupid and people would judge me and people would think I must be doing something wrong. People would think, oh, okay, like all this, our women, that people will blame me. So from the thought in my head that people will blame me or think that I've done something wrong or think that I'm not capable enough to handle my own, made me, I kind of withdrew from having to tell anyone. I didn't tell anyone, not a friend, not a family, not my sibling, no one.
And did he keep to his promise of not laying his hands on you again?
Okay, these are the things that I agree with Divi. If they do it once, they will do it again. Because it's not just a walk in the park for them as well. It's it's an habit. It's a place of letting off or whatever it is for them. So if they do once, they will do it again. As much as I advocate for the other side, which we'll talk about, if the root is not cut off, don't believe whatever comes out of the mouth. Because most time in that position, even the perpetrator cannot help himself.
I hope our women are hearing, and even if it's a man, women do abuse men as well. So I'm not the one that would say it's just women. No,
true.
It's both gender. So please, once they start, they can't help themselves to stop. That is the clause there. During my pre-interview with you, Adetutu, you said something, that you're a strong woman and a street-raised girl. Did those qualities help you to handle the situation very well, or did you break down like many women would?
There is no woman that will be in that position that will not break down. Forget any extra layer that you have.
Extra layer.
Forget all the paparazzi. There is no woman literally that will walk through DV that will not break down, because it's something that takes from your soul. As females, we're emotional beings. And that is where the attack comes first. Because emotionally, you'll be spent.
You're drained.
Emotionally, you'll be drained. Emotionally, you start dying off bit by bit. So there is no amount of, yes, as you said, I'm quite a strong-minded person. And I know what I want. And people to an extent says I'm stubborn. When I want to get something, I'm a go-getter. I have clarity. I can remember in the space of that, I have a very good friend that keeps saying, see, the only reason after she got to know, that the only reason I don't get this is Tutu. I know if it were to be somebody that I know maybe is heavily dependent on the person or cannot make up their own mind, or they're not emotionally strong, or they're not capable, then I will understand. But in your case, so I'm sorry, I cannot talk to you because there is nothing that I know I can say to you that I know you don't know. I know you're that self-aware enough to know. So I don't get it. So it's not about being strong. Don't forget that this is somebody that you've seen as a companion. It's supposed to be a place of vulnerability for you. It's supposed to be a place whereby you can let go and be yourself without filter, without guarding or anything. So when in place of that, you're getting the bass blows and emotionally and psychologically, verbally abused and everything. Then the extra layer of strength that you have will melt away. So there is no woman that should have to go through that or keep going through that or say, oh, I'm strong enough, I can forget it.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. That's exactly where I was expecting that you will land. Please, you're so precious. Do not stay in an abusive relationship or a violent environment. It's not good for anybody. God has not designed your body to go through that. No, you are so precious. Please, you've not heard anything, because Adetutu here this afternoon, she has said to me that she has not shared this anywhere else, and she wants to help women out there. She wants to help men out there.
Sorry
today, please.
Let me buttress that. Sorry to cut you short quickly. Let me buttress that. There is one thing that I learned is the fact that, see, those years in between, maybe the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4 years that you're trying to manage and string things along. In the long run, you're still going to lose those years, because in the long run, most probably, if you don't, you're still going to have to leave, or God forbid, the person will die in it. So the amount of years that we keep open and pushing on and stuff, if you can use that amount of time or that year to remove yourself from the situation, and then it can actually now help from a place of help yourself.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Some women that I have had, the privilege to interview before had said to me that they lost their identity, became depressed, and even felt suicidal, during the process of going through domestic violence. Did you experience any of the above that I mentioned?
It goes without saying. It goes without saying. I went through those steps like that, one after the other, as we discussed in the pre-interview. Initially, it was a case of, okay, I can manage. Okay, yeah, it's not suitable. It shouldn't be this way. But then you sleep, you wake up, day goes on, day by day. You keep dragging on, and you keep thinking, okay, it will be better tomorrow. It will be better tomorrow. And what that does is you're spending yourself emotionally, you're spending yourself subconsciously, thinking you have the strength on the surface to keep going on. Yes, you can keep going. We keep going on the surface. But what I realized after a lengthy period of time is that I'm being spent internally without realizing it. Then that now led into when there was nothing there anymore. It's like there is water in a bucket. And you keep taking out of it, you keep taking out of it. You're not pouring back into it. You keep taking out of it. Then you get to a place of emptiness, whereby your identity, everything, you've spent everything in that bucket. You've tried to substantiate the marriage or the relationship or whatever it is with everything that is inside of you. You now become empty. You've lost identity because in the place of not speaking up and everything, the shame and everything, build a peace over you. You're not sure of who you are anymore. You lose your identity, and from there you start going into depression. And from there, God forbid, you come to a point whereby it's a case of I just want it to end. Because if at the time you're not able to live yet, you get to that point where you just want it to disappear. You want it to end. You don't have the courage to live yet. So you're looking for a substitute to end it for you, to let it just end. And as I said, I've been there. Like in my experience, it just came onslaught like that. And the situation has happened, and the situation has happened. I've gone to work, but obviously I couldn't concentrate at work, and I left work, and this was me walking on the road, tears down my eyes, just like everything was just. My head was so bombarded. I was so overwhelmed, and I had a lot of thoughts going through my head. And out of the blue, I just felt like, what, I want it to end. And it just kept repeating itself in my head that, I want it to end. I can't do this anymore.
So
yes, women were in different ways. Fine, we're different, and no two individuals are the same. But then we're all human beings.
Yes.
And we all have emotions, and it goes certain way. So I'll say there is no woman that will go through that will not lose their identity. That will not, if you're not happy, if most of the time you're working on eggshells, you don't know when the next blast blows is going to happen. You can't speak the way you want to speak. You have to watch when you speak, what you say. So your life is so given to not letting this person get into the space where they will blow up on you. So
thank you very much, Adetutu. For the sake of our viewers that do not understand the meaning of blast blows, it means you don't know when the next beating is gonna come, the next slap.
I'm sorry using that, because I told you.
Punching, the next slap, the next pushing, you don't know when it's gonna come. That is what Adetutu had to experience as a woman. You can tell from her skin that she's very light skinned, and it cannot be eaten with all this mask and all these, punches, bruises. A pretty lady. Please, you are not made for that. If you are going through anything that we are discussing today, you are precious. God created you for a sign and wonder, and He wants you to be His glory in this world. Please, do not suffer in silence. That is why we're doing this show. And you will not die before your time in the mighty name of Jesus. You will be the mother of your children in the mighty name of Jesus. All we are saying this afternoon is God has created you for a purpose. And just you staying in your husband's house or whatever you call it, and you're getting brass balls every day will not allow you to fulfill that purpose. That is what we're saying this afternoon. You can just step out and seek for help. Please, and help us share this video if you haven't, because a lot of women are suffering, they're dying. They don't have, just like Adetutu was not able to open up to somebody because of the shame, because of the stigma, because of what people will say, because people will blame her and condemn her. She kept it to herself and she was dying, suffering in silence. Please, do not let the next woman, the next girl, your next girlfriend go through the same thing. And that is why we're sharing this afternoon. You can tell that it's not very easy for any woman to come out on the air and be saying, I have been abused. I was once turned into a punching bag. That is what Adetutu is saying this afternoon. Are you going to allow another woman to go through that? Please help share this video. Right, Adetutu, you said something to me during my pre-interview, and I was surprised. Seriously, I was surprised. And I want you to repeat that same thing right now. I want to hear from our viewers and listeners this afternoon. You walked out, of that relationship. But you did something again, Adetutu. You came back. Why? Why on earth?
Yeah. As you said, like I was saying, okay, I'll use bass boost and everything just to kind of lighten it. It's not a light issue.
No.
It's not something that is light at all. And I think that is one of the reasons why I've chosen to go this way, to speak my truth and be authentic about it. Because I believe that many people that will walk in my shoes or that has walked in my shoes, and if it will help the next set of females to not walk this way or have some sort of help to do it better, if this is the only thing that is taken out of my experience, then I think I thank God. I did go back because there were a lot of reasons that made me. I think, and the major part of that was the fact that, as I said, I walked out shortly after the initial stage of it. I walked out. We were apart for quite a good few number of years, and I was just doing my own thing. And then our path crossed again. Not intentionally, our path crossed again, and we sat down and we talked. And of course, there's some family members that had no idea why, because I chose not to still really say anything to anyone, and still didn't understand why we broke up. Really, they didn't really know the nitty-gritty of what happened. But then afterwards, what I realized was there's some people that were close to him that knew that, because they've seen him do that, of course they have an idea, okay, this one is gone that way, probably because of this. So we were in that situation and we met again, we sat down, we talked, and if I can remember precisely, his mom was involved, and I think he was like, okay, you know what, I've realized my mistake, and if you can work out on this, then I know it's something that I need to work on. And I've been working on myself and all of that, like all the talk about, I realized that I shouldn't be doing this and all of that. And then the mother was involved. We talked at length about it, and the mother was okay. And he agreed with her that, okay, if it takes me to sign an undertaking that it will not happen again, I would do, and all of that. So I think that kind of brought me to a place to think, is realized it is new about wanting to be a better person, and all of that. And as I think there is this thing at the back of my mind as well, that because at that point in time, I just don't want to deal with any other man at all. I just didn't, as after we separated, I was still quite quite young, but just wasn't going to do that with anyone again.
Mm.
So having said those things, and I believed in my head that any sane person would know that that needs to change, that it shouldn't be that way. So we agreed to get back together again. I agreed to that, and we did.
Oh, well done. You did really well. Thank you for that. That's the first, part of the story. We're going to go into the second phase of it now. And that is why it is really, really important for you to help us share this video. Adetutu is so forgiving, so loving, and she's so kind. One of a kind indeed. But did our kindness help her? We want to find out from this second part of this show. So help us share this video, because if people are joining now, they've not missed much. Adetutu is going to be sharing with us what happened in the second phase of this relationship. Right. I believe you are a very smart lady. Even though the mom, was ready to give you an undertaking and all that. But what measures did you put in place before you went back to him? Did you go for counseling? Because I had, people would say you go for counseling and all that. And did the counseling help?
Okay. Thank you, Yinka. Yeah, counseling was involved, but it did not help. it did not help. And I'll come to that, why it did not help. I think that is the reason why I actually decided to speak about this. There's a lot of people, a lot of information, a lot of things going on about DV, and I appreciate that. I think the reason why I'm sharing my story and coming from a different angle is that different side of it, different perspective that peradventure people can look at. And that is one of the reasons why, even despite the measures that were put in place, one of the things that at that point in time that was clear to me was I came back the second time from a point of strength, from a certain point of strength. The strength was the fact that I know I will walk. I know I now had the full spectrum of his personality. I've grown up a little bit more. I've the time that we were separated, I've worked on me. I've got to know me more. I used that time. I was more self-aware. I read more. I knew me. I know me. Do you understand? And it was different from the initial stage where I was still a little bit just, okay, I want a happy marriage. I'm going to give it whatever it takes. So those were part of the measure. I knew, at least I had a strength that I know I can walk out of it. And I wasn't hoping to walk out of it. I was hoping that it will work. And I was hoping that, okay, the measures that we can put in place, like counseling, like knowing when I can say, do you know what, this way, no, and all of that. So they were in place. But
the counseling did not work.
Yeah, but because they did not really work. Afterwards, then it made me started to think in a different direction again. Which was the unpopular opinion of looking at it from a different angle that I looked at. It made me now.
We're going to get there shortly, Adetutu. I just want to ask you this. This is a personal question from me now. Okay. I believe that we are all products of our background. Have you personally seen something like this in your environment, growing up? Because I believe you trying to make an excuse for him, trying to give him a second chance. I know we're all Christians and we should give people more than second chances.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
But experience, if that is all you know, you would think, oh, well, this is what I'm used to. This is what is happening. I should just get along with it. Why did you decided to stand by him? I just want to get that picture.
I think that came from a lot of from the person that I am. As I said before, growing up as a child, I had this image, this imagination, which I think almost all of us have, of the kind of marriage that I wanted. It was important to me to have a solid family unit.
Mm.
And I think I brought that into dealing or making decisions in the light of the situation that I found myself in. And as you said, the Bible says we should give each other chances and chances. But before I go on, let me know that on this one, I will say walk. I will keep repeating that. DV, it's not about giving people second chance. You should give yourself a second chance first.
That's it.
You give yourself a second chance first, because you can't help any other person if you if you need help yourself and you've not sought that help. You can't help another person. And I think that was one of the things that I realized after from backing out of it, and I saw that I was trying to play fixer.
Mm.
I was trying to, do you know, when we were discussing, I said something about enabling, subconsciously enabling. And especially when it comes to the point of, okay, I don't want this to break, I want it to work.
To work.
So then you now become, to a certain degree, an enabler, because you're giving it whatever it takes to make it survive, to make it thrive when you're not supposed to. The second chance is for yourself first before it's for that person.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that you that word that you said. You know, we women, we see ourselves as a fixer, as a deliverer, as an enabler. You know, we just want to make things work. The Bible says the wise woman builds a home, and a lot of women,
that statement has killed a lot of us.
Exactly.
As it is true, I stand by it. It has. I think that is one of the steps whereby people assumed shame, whereby female, which, because if my marriage breaks, if it doesn't work, it means I'm not a wise woman.
I'm not a wise woman.
The wise woman builds her home. So if it's happening contrary, it means I'm foolish. It means I don't know what I'm doing. So from that point, most of us now become the fixer, manager, that we're not supposed to be managing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, what people always say when it comes to domestic violence is the children. Some people will say, I am staying because of my children. I am in it because of my children. I just want to stay in the marriage. And once my children have grown, when they're in the universities or they got married, then I can get out of it. Did you think about what your children were going through, or how it will affect them in the future?
Thank you. So that is a separate discussion completely from DV. I think as much as people, there should be a separate platform and everything for addressing the issue of children that are in this kind of environment. Because so far, what society has done is, as much as we're shouting about DV, we're not at rehabilitating the children that came from this environment. Don't stay for your children. If anything, do them a disservice. In my own case, as I said, I was aware to a certain level that I knew that, and I think I said it for a long while after that I believe from the beginning that it's me and my husband first. Judge me if you want. Throw stones, throw slippers if you want. It's me and my husband first. As I believe, as the Bible says, it's me and my husband, and my children came along. They don't replace one another.
No.
And my husband is my husband, my kids are my kids. They do not cross over. A lot of people agree with me on this, and it's fine. Each to his own. Now my butter and bread be that, and I am good with it. You don't have to accept or agree with me. So in my own case, initially for the first, I was looking at, okay, this is me and my partner. We have an issue. This is my relationship. We have an issue. I was seeing him separate from being in the presence of the kids. So I wasn't from the point that, but from the after effect and everything, in my case, it so happened that we weren't always together in the early years of the kids growing up and all of that. So it wasn't every day, but still, I can say it impacts hugely on them. Because even coming off the phone after an argument, and they know I'm not happy, and they know I'm not talking to dad, and I'm not happy. So even that alone, so I'm not from the one I would say don't do anything in a marriage because of the kids. Whether it is left, don't do it's not the kids are they have their own life to live. You and your partner, you are an item, and then the kids comes into it. They don't replace one another.
Thank you.
If you're going through DV, you're thinking, oh, you're staying because of your children. Imagine the trauma these children are going through, seeing this day by day. And the home is supposed to be a place where they learn love. So that means we're teaching them this is the language of love. So that means we're teaching them that, okay, this is the right way to behave. Of course, they'll go to a certain age whereby they will understand and know this is not the way it's supposed to be. They will know, okay, this is not the way it's supposed to be. But don't forget that children are like sponges. It's not what you tell them most of the time, it's what they see.
It's what
and subconsciously, you're building schemas in them, you're building foundation in them, which peradventure they themselves might now end up like that. And then we start the vicious circle.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So what Adetutu is saying this afternoon is, do not stay in an abusive or a violent environment because of the children, because you're not going to produce a balanced children. You're not going to produce children that will learn love. You won't produce children that will be strong emotionally. They might be damaged. Please, if you have to think about the children, think about them in this aspect. Thank you very much, Adetutu, for that. Again, some people say that or believe that women are to blame for domestic violence or abuse because of their mouth. Because some people, they say they have diarrhea in their mouth, as in they talk too much. And women can be so abusive when they are angry and, do what they are not supposed to do or say what they are not supposed to say. And that is general belief about a lot of people. Do you believe women are mostly at fault? And even if they are, do you think it is a very good ground to turn a woman into a punching bag because she's got diarrhea in her mouth?
Thank you, Yinka. Rightly, DV can happen to either the male or the female part of the relationship. It goes both ways. Okay, now when people say that, ask them, okay, what happens to females that abuse their male counterpart? That neutralizes the fact that it's because women have diarrhea in their mouth, they talk anyhow. We have women that abuses the male counterpart. Does that mean the male counterpart has diarrhea in their mouth as well? Number two, there is no excuse. Yes, okay, let's assume they've labeled us as, whopper box. Let's assume that. Does that not justify you lifting your hand on that person? No, it doesn't. Having said that, I don't agree that it's because women talk too much, because that wasn't my case. It wasn't a case of provoking with my words, no, totally, completely not. And having said that, now the person that is sick is sick. Regardless what the people around that person does or does not do, that person is responsible for the action. I've been in a position where somebody's insulted me or do something. Yes, but is it in my nature to now start saying, okay, this is my box, we're going to... No. So we all have different ways of resolving conflict. That person chooses that way to resolve their own conflict.
Thank you.
It doesn't make it right. And it is not always the fact that women talks too much. It's the fact that that person in themselves is sick. It's the fact that that person in themselves does not have control over their emotions. It has nothing to do with that woman. Peradventure, that person has been like that even before the woman came on the scene.
Thank you. Thank you. This is you're just going ahead to my next question. I just want to appreciate all our viewers. Please let us know where you're watching from and send us your views or your comments. I really want to hear from you. What do you have to say? Do you agree with Addicted to this afternoon, or myself? Or have you got another opinion that you want to share with us this afternoon? Please, we want to hear from you. Thank you very much, Barak Malik D, for joining us this afternoon. He's saying, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you very much. Thank you, Elizabeth Abiodun. Thank you, Alison, for joining us. Charles, thank you. Abe, wow, it's good to see you, Abe Akiola Ogundipe. It's been a while. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Thank you very much. If I have not mentioned your name, that is because you've not, send us a comment or say hi to us or wherever you're watching from. I want to be able to give you a shout out because I really appreciate your time. And that is why I am saying hello to you. Thank you, Nena. Thank you for joining us. I do really appreciate. Right. We've got a question. Sandra is asking, when a man has no regard for his mother, he would definitely not have regard for his wife. Oh, that's a statement, not a question. Thank you very much, Sandra, for joining us this afternoon. And that is so spot on. Sandra is looking at it from the angle of the way he relates to his mother, the way he treats his mother, the way he behaves around his mother or women around him, that if he behave nicely to them, then he might be able to know how to treat a woman or his wife. Thank you very much for that, Sandra. Right. Adetitu, I have a personal question for you right now. In all of this, who or what do you think is responsible for how he treated you? Is it his background, his previous relationships, or was it totally at fault because he made that choice?
All right. Thank you for that question. It's all of the above. It's all of them. You rightly analyzed it. Okay, so coming from my perspective or my opinion, moving away, having lived it. We were saying previously about children that are raised in this kind of environment. And I think one of the things that is really, really dear to my heart is, of course, I don't want any other woman to walk in the shoes that I've walked in. But it's just unfortunate we see these things happening. Like it's not stopping. And that is because there is a sick element in the equation that needs to be fixed. In my own personal case, as much as I'm not excusing that or using that as an excuse or using that as it's okay for it to be like that because that happened. No, not at all. If you're listening to me, I want you to get it clear. Not at all. As I said before, there is no excuse that warrants you to hit another person. There is no excuse. It says a lot. The person that hits, it says a lot about who you are, not about what the other person has done or has not done. You're responsible for your own responses. So it's not because of ABC, but having clarified that, as you said, background in his own case, this particular case, not forgetting that every individual in every relationship is different. So the dynamics of every relationship and every marriage is different to each other. Because individuals make relationship and we're all different. We might be similar in ABC, but when you pull it together, we're mostly different and we bring this into relationships. In this particular case that is mine, I can trace the back to upbringing. And like the person that commented before said, that how you relate to people in your life before you meet that woman. He was somebody that grew up in the same kind of environment. He was somebody that grew up in that. It was a temperamental issue. It was the level, the height of their temperament, so to say. And now, having said that, I remember that a lot of times that we have the discussion that I say, okay, see, it's like this. There is a father that is a drunkard, and he has two sons. Now, son A sees what alcohol has done to his father, the damage, the trauma, the bitterness that he has caused in his family and everything, the things that he has caused. And that made him to know that this is a no-no. I cannot replicate this because I've seen the damage that it can cause. And then son B now of the same mind, the situation so much, allowed the bitterness to get into him so much that he gets to the point where he needs an outlet as well. And unconsciously started drinking to combat the problem of his father drunkenness. Those two scenarios. So the fact that, and that is the discussion that we oftentimes have, I was like, the fact that this happened doesn't mean, the more reason why it should be you that should not be doing this. Because you've seen firsthand the damage that it can do, and you've seen firsthand how you feel when you were at the receiving end of it. Now multiply that by maybe 100 that you're meeting out to another person. So background was involved, and as I said, I do not condone that. I believe that over times we are all supposed to work on ourselves.
Yeah.
We're human beings. We're not BEAN for a reason. We're BEIGN for a reason. It's a continuous thing. So we continue to learn, unlearn, learn and unlearn. And be truthful to ourselves, to accept the responsibility. I think it crosses over when that person is not at a place of responsibility, when that person has not come to the point whereby they can admit it and accept the true nature of who they are, as ugly as it might be, as bad as it might be, as much as they might not want it, that see, this is really the reality of who I am.
Thank you.
And that was why I said counseling did not really work, because until you get to that stage before anything can then come in.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Adetitu. What Adetitu is saying this evening is, yes, background can be an influence. Our environment can be an influence. Past relationship, again, can be our, an influence in somebody being an abuser themselves. But we just don't want to leave it at that. And that is why I'm going to ask you the next question, because I believe you're so passionate about it. In fact, this was the area that actually attracted me, to draw me, to this topic that we are doing today. Adetitu, how do you think we can help these men, that have become abusers themselves due to their past experiences or their background?
Thank you, Yinka. As I rightly said, this is the purpose of me even coming out to discuss this and everything is my take from it, my reason, my why for doing this. I'm not doing this so that I can get anything that, she went. No, the reason, the why I'm doing this is because I see there is a gap whereby we've boxed everyone into one certain box and closed it off. Now, as much as I've said that I don't condone it, I've walked through it, I know the intricate of it from A to B. It was something that I was in for multiples of double figures of years. It's not something that is simple, and it's not something that is light. But then I'm looking at how can it be that my sisters does not keep going through this circle. Most of the people that are abused, yes, I can leave. I have left. You have left. They will meet the next sister. They will meet the next sister. Now, yes, we are walking out of the relationship, but the accidents are happening. Because, okay, they meet the next person. This particular person meets the next person. It might take one or two. They've already experienced the trauma before they will now move away from the relationship. And it's rolling over and over. And that brought me to the point, okay, this man needs rehabilitation.
That's it.
If we are going to have a good figure of women not going through domestic violence, we need to look at the perpetrators. Now, don't get me wrong. From where me and you came from, we know there's some men that it's just the mentality of the fact that I am a man. I can do whatever I want. There's certain men like that they just do it for the fact that they're men. They can do whatever they want and go on to the next one. Now, in between
Adetutu, I understand what you're saying and where you're coming from, but I still believe those set of men need, educating as well. They need rehabilitating as well.
Yes.
You said something earlier on about us unlearning some certain things that we have learned or that we have picked up along the line in our lives. And it is never too late for any one of us to learn things in our lives.
No. Okay, yeah, that is what I'm saying. I'm saying as much as there's so much going on about domestic violence, knowing the signs to look for, knowing what to do, ask for help and all those things. Let us not leave the men out of it. Let people that are in a place of influencing, men that are men of God, that knows their onions, that are examples in the society, that knows they can mentor. Let them come up as much as we're creating awareness for us as females, as the women or the victims. Let us look at rehabilitating even the men themselves, because I strongly believe that some of those men that really truly do not like what they are exhibiting. It's just like any other vices that they know they shouldn't be doing it, but as you said, things, environment and situations and over the time or not knowing enough or whatever the reason might be, have not come to that place. And don't forget, one of the huge thing about our men or male generally is the ego part. And as much as it is difficult for us to come out as well, it's difficult for them to come out because, we've been taught, man up. And because of that, it will not be an easy platform for them as well to come out and say, I have this problem. I'm abusing my wife. I can't control my temper. I'm abusing my sister. Or I have this thing. I need help. People will not let them even seek for help that is necessary. They are being shrouded in shame as well, in the fact that I have to man up. I can't show my emotions. I can't show my feelings. You understand all of that? Yeah. I think there should be a platform for them, a rehabilitation platform for this male to come to, whereby they can go past their ego, realize the problem that they have for what it is, and seek the available help that is necessary. Not just from the point of sitting down and counseling and talk about it, but from the point of looking at the root causes and looking at, okay, I'm this person. I've realized, I've accepted, I'm a person A now, but that is not what I want to be. I want to move to person D. How do I bridge the gap in between A and D? What do I do? And please, if you're a man that you're in that situation, the first thing that you can do is to let that person go.
That's it.
Let that person go. Go work with yourself. Go deal with yourself. Not that, okay, the person goes for the fact that you don't want to man down, you want to keep your man ego. You're saying it's the female or it's the woman that has done all this thing. And then the next man will come along. The same thing will happen. The next woman will come along. The same thing, because trust me, it will come out.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Adetutu. I love something Barak said here. Barak said, thank you. I think we have a great generation that lacks mentorship. Thank you very much. We need mentors, and not just mentors. We have a lot of female mentors, but we need more male figured mentors.
Thank you.
Please. Yes. The man that you're watching us this afternoon, you see that there is a need in our generation, in this community. Please raise a boy and all. If it's just one man that you can help, you can hold up and walk the journey of life with, please do that. It is not too late. Start something. Please help that young man that you're seeing. Thank you very much for that, Adetutu. Again, I know you've talked about men, but what about all these boys, children that are in these houses, in this family, and they're seeing this thing that is going on in the family, and they will reciprocate, they will go through that pattern as well when they grow up. What can we do to rehabilitate these ones as well?
Thank you, Yinka. When we touched on that issue before, I said it's a whole new, different aspect that needs to be looked at holistically on its own, completely, the children, completely. Now, as a parent or as a mother or as a father, that you know what happened, I believe you need to sit down with them. It is easy to come from a place of, oh, I don't want to express it with them. I went through it, but I had to come to a point whereby to understand that they know that they can process it more than I can give them credit for. That it is not up to me to step in to understand how they're processing it, not assume to know how they will process it. And I think that is really important, that if you're that, whether the father or the mother, that you know they've gone through this, that you sit down with them, let them express themselves to you so that you can gauge. Let be the first point of breaking down for them. Let them break that breaking down. And be the first point, because you can see from how they interpret what transpired between you and the other spouse. And if there are ways that you can point out explanation, if there are ways that you can add to, because sometimes it might be out of context for them, that they only just say that particular thing, that you can put in fillers into their own expression. Don't assume it for them. They're individuals on their own. Let them express it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We've got this that was sent in. It said, "I, beautiful mind, my husband is an abuser in the church." No, I'm going to take that. "I, beautiful mind, my husband is an elder in the church, but he is always abusing me verbally, emotionally, and financially. I am tired of the marriage, but I can't leave because of my religion. What advice have you got for this woman and, for women that are in this kind of situation in general, Adetutu?" And please, viewers, if you can help us send comments as well to encourage a lot of women that are going through this kind of a thing, that they are married to an elder, a church leader, but they can't come out publicly to say this thing. Right on, Adetutu.
Thank you. I will take it from the point of, from that equation, is an elder in church. Please, Nika, cross it out. Seriously, let's take that out of the equation. It doesn't add to anything. There is nowhere it says that an elder, a Christian, a Muslim, or whoever, no, it cannot be an abuser. That does not take to it. We see that man as a man. See, this is one of the things that pushed enduring domestic abuse is religion. And it's one of the things, aspect that I am careful and I stay away from. Why? Because it's a sensitive one for me. It literally cross under my skin, because I can relate with where that person is coming from. But what I would say is, it's your life. You by yourself carried your leg and walked into church. You went to that church yourself. There was nowhere that God did. You went into that church yourself. It has nothing to do with religion. We have used religion to wrap so many things. As I said, first of all, take elder in the church as a man that is an abuser. And if you're thinking because it's an elder, see, Yinka, I think when we were having pre-interview, I told you this. When people are talking about I'm being abused, I want to leave, I don't get in. Why? Because I know and I understand from experience that it takes that person to get to the point of wanting to leave. If that person is not at the point of wanting to leave, there is nothing you can say.
You can say, you're right.
It's a personal decision. No, we can advise, we can point it, okay, if you go A, it will turn this way, if you go B, but it takes that person to break themselves. The reason why most women does not leave does not have to do with the abuser, it has to do with us. The decision lies with you, regardless what that person is perpetrating. It's your choice.
Thank
you.
You
can choose to see all the what if, maybe, hey, elder. You can't see all that. You choose to see it. It's your choice. It is not the abuser making you see it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Adetitu. I just want to add this to what Adetitu have said. Please, 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 when we're talking about domestic, abuse, somebody abusing you financially, emotionally, physically, sometimes when we're saying leave, I think a lot of people don't really understand that leave
Yes.
is leave for your own safety, not that you are divorcing the man. When you are leaving to go and work on yourself and for him to be able to work on himself as well. Please, so that all the bad habits that we have picked along the line from our environment, our experiences, from along the line, we are able to go and stay with God, and He will be able to prune us and take those things away from us, those things that He has not planted in our lives. He will be able to uproot them. That is what you're doing. You're not leaving to divorce your husband or to divorce your wife. No, but you are leaving to go and work on yourself and let him seek help. At some point
Yes.
in our lives, we all need help, and we should not shy away from it. Your pastor is a pastor, but he is not a counselor. He is not a therapist. Your pastor is not. If you need a therapist, you have to go and seek
Yes, therapist.
a one and seek help. This is why we have a lot of troubles and problems in marriages, because we bombard our pastors with everything, and you can't be skilled in everything. You can't. Please, we need to get this aspect right.
Right.
We need to seek help. I'm tired of women staying in an abusive environment until they die. And you're saying, I'm staying there because of my kids. And at the end of the day, you're not going to look after that child. Somebody will raise that child for you. That will not be our portion. In the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen. Let me cut you short, Yinka. Sorry. Let me quickly add one thing. I will ask that person, sit down, take pen and paper. Honestly, being honest and truthful to yourself. Write down the reason why you don't want to leave. List them out. Sit down and list up the list. You know your reasons. All the thoughts that normally comes into your head, write them out. When you've written them out, then start picking them one by one and start relating to how they add to your life, those opinions, how they add to your life or how they take out. By the time you finish that exercise, you will see that you're just giving excuses to yourself not to leave.
Thank you. That's a very good one. Barak is saying, whatever position or little a man or woman holds, or title rather, a man or woman holds, doesn't stop him from abusing anyone. When you notice any form of abuse, please find a way of taking a break. Listen to this. I love this that he said. It has a way of resetting the brain of the abuser. Thank you very much, sir, for that.
Yes.
That is so spot on.
Yes, exactly. I will buttress that. That was why I said that from the first time that I stepped away, even the second time that I will come back, that I was coming back from a place of strength. That is what that moving away does. You're coming, you place yourself, it's like power, you've given it off. It will make you take it back. I have a situation of a couple like that. They both decided, we're not divorcing. But for me to get help, the man realized I need help. In order for me to get help, we need to live apart. We're not divorced, but we're living apart for us to start over again.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. We are coming to the end of today's show. It's like I don't want us to leave because it's so interesting. And I believe a lot of people are learning from today's show. And if you haven't shared this show, please help us share this video, because Adetitu have said a lot of things that you have to go to a counselor to get paid to listen to, or to go to a show to get paid to listen to any of this. So please help us share this video that we are, discussing this afternoon. Thank you very much. Adetutu, the devil tried to stop you, but he has failed. And I'm saying that concerning all of our viewers this afternoon. The devil tried to get you, but he has failed in your life. We thank God for the protection of over your destiny, because God protected your destiny. If that time that you're losing it and you just said, okay, I want to end it, and you just finish it, you won't be able to do what you are doing now. You have a unique business. I want you to please share this business with my viewers and my listeners this afternoon, and to know how we can, bless us and be a blessing to you as well.
Thank you very much, Yinka, and thank you for this platform. Great work you're doing, and I pray it will grow bigger and more wins beyond your imagination. As you said, I run a unique business here in the UK, even though it's a global business. It's called nokosa.com. I don't know if you can see I'm wearing my, where am I?
It's on the screen, don't worry, that's your name on the screen.
It's nokosa.com. So nokosa.com is basically an online platform for people in diaspora to put daily essentials like food, groceries into the hands of their loved ones in Nigeria. It stems from the need that I say that pertains to most of us that are outside Nigeria, but we have ties, which is almost every one of us. We have ties back in Nigeria. You have families, you have mothers, fathers, children, spouses, friends, old colleagues, business partners, and stuff like that. And it's just a bridge whereby you can go on our platform, or either through WhatsApp or Instagram DM, whereby you can go on and get groceries, food, fresh as they come straight from the farmers, and into the hands of your loved ones in Nigeria. Most of us would have heard these stories that touches the earth. You sent money home to maybe the uncle of the cousin of the nephew of the brother to get something, maybe for your aged parents or to do something. And by the time you check back, it's actually half. Sometimes it's not even anything at all that will reach the hand of the person that you intended it for. Or you have that friend that keeps calling you, oh, my children does not have food and everything. And you've been sending money or stuff like that. And then by the time you hear the person is using the money to build house now. Should be it that don't know how to send money to build house in Nigeria. Yeah, so out of all those things, one of us would have had certain experiences like that, or maybe you would have heard of people that were building houses in Nigeria, sending money home and all of that. And by the time they now finally land in Nigeria, let's go and see the house. Story will land. So those are the things that we take out, the stress, the trauma, the not social that we take out for people in the diaspora. So you can basically just go on the website or give us a DM, and in 24 hours we get groceries, food into the hands of your loved ones in Nigeria. Or maybe it's just a friend or a colleague that, yeah, they are okay, they don't need your money or anything like that, but you just want to show that I'm in your life, I'm thinking about you, or a business partner that you want to show appreciation to, or a friend that is their wedding anniversary or anything like that, and you just want to show that kindness, you just want to put that forward, and you can go on our website and order, and we'll deliver to them. And we have people that monthly, you don't have to be thinking, oh, I've not really sent money home to my family, to my parents. I've not. We have monthly subscription whereby every month you just subscribe to it, and every month, certain day of the month, we deliver food to them. Wow. And the other advantage of it is because we buy directly from farmers, and because we are in business with farmers, we're trying to raise agriculture in Nigeria. We're in the process of doing that large scale. The prices that you will get from us will be cheaper than the prices they will go and buy it in the market by themselves.
Wow.
That is one. And given with the fact that they don't have to drive, they don't have to sit in hold up, they don't have to do this. And even more from experience, Yinka, what I've seen is even more than the product or the gift themselves. They thought that people see, oh, this person sent something to me. Oh, this person remembers me.
Yes.
It goes a long way. It goes really, really long way. I have a friend from Nigeria contacted her in the morning. She's got, I think, about 3 kids or so. And she's crying, my children does not have food. I need money. And she remembers, and she contacted me and said, see, I need food. I need it today. What can you do for me? And that is one of the things that drives us, that not living. Of course, she wants to help. That how can 2 kids, 3 kids not have food? And I just don't want to send money. I can give her money, but it's food that I want in her hand. And to God be the glory, we picked the order up and we're able to deliver. Even before we got back to her, the friend had already sent the picture to say, well, they delivered food to me.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
so all over, wherever you are in the whole world, US, UK, Ireland, Germany, all over the world, so you can put stuff directly in the hands of your loved ones in Nigeria. You know what your money is being spent on? You are sure it is food I'm giving them. It is gift I'm giving them. I'm buying electricity for them. I'm buying top up for them. And okay, I want to deliver building materials to my site. Okay, they've given me this quotation, but I don't want to send the money. I want to just get the material, go deliver it to them. If they now want to carry the material, well, God help us. So
well done for that.
So that is what Nokosa does.
Please leave your details. I believe people might want to contact you, so you can drop your details in the comment box, so that and they're on your website as well, so that people can go and check the website out. But before we go, I have 2 more questions for you. And one of them is, we talked about you losing your identity, at some point, and you wanted to commit suicide, but something inside of you, purpose, I believe, stopped you. And I'm very sure that, God has preserved you so that you can use your story to encourage others, as you're doing right now. Can you please encourage somebody out there today? Maybe the husband have left, or had gone through this experience, but still finding and looking for purpose. They've not, picked themselves up. They've not realized themselves. They've not found their identity. Can you please share a word of encouragement to such, please, this afternoon?
Thank you, Yinka. What I'll say to you looking at me or hearing me or going to look at this or hear this later on is, you are enough. We can say a whole lot of things, but know that you are enough. In all the situation, in all the circumstances, what you've come through, what you've had, what you're going through, you are enough, and you choose your outcome. You can choose to, from here going forward, to change the narrative of that situation.
That's it.
That the power is in your hand. That we're truly, truly amazing beings that God has made. That really, truly, nothing is impossible when you put your mind to it. And you allow yourself, go past yourself, learn yourself, unlearn yourself, and give yourself the permission, have the audacity to be who you want to be and to achieve that which you want to achieve.
Wow.
Your past does not define you. Situations does not define you. You define you. So don't let it weigh you down. Don't let it weigh you down. Pick yourself up and know that there is a greater future before you, that you can rewrite. You can still make beautiful music out of those broken chords.
That's it. Thank you.
And trust me, those music sounds sonorous than anything. It is part of your journey. And celebrate yourself that you've done it well. You've scaled through the walls. You've swam through the sea.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You shared something with me, and I want us to round up with that. You said your son told you about what one of his friends said about you when you were going through that phase. Can you please? Because I just suspected that somebody might be out there that needs to smile, and I want you to share that with that person and how you were able to do it.
Thank you, Yinka. See, those are that particular incident is part of highlights of my life. I lost my identity truly without even me realizing to the extent that to which I've lost it. My son spoke to me one day. It happens that I walk back and forth for exercise, and I passed through college, and that is the college that my son goes to. So we have a lot of students passing through. I didn't know anyone was looking at me. I'll just go and come. So it was one day my son was like, "Do you know this, my friend Kojo?" I was like, "Yes." He said something about you. I was like, "What?" They said, that every time he sees you walk past him, which was often, that your face is always so hard. That you look so hard, so sad. And Yinka, my heart literally just dropped. And because that was one person, which means that was the face that I was wearing all around. And just as I've said that, celebrate yourself, bring yourself up and learn some things about you and learn new things. I had to come to a point whereby I had to teach myself to smile. I had to remind myself to smile. Why? Because situations and circumstances have put me in a position whereby I've literally forgotten what it is to smile. And so if you're hearing this, as I said, it's a choice. I think that stood out a lot at the point whereby I realized that it is a choice. But I'll tell myself, I choose to be happy. I choose to smile. I choose to smile. Literally be walking on the road and I'll remind myself that, say, I'm the daughter of the Most High. I will smile. Now I walk on the road and I'll just break into dancing. And my daughter will be like, like children, oh, mom, you're embarrassing. I was like, see, when you feel like dancing, dance. I feel like dancing and I will skip while I'm walking, and it wasn't really that easy. And when people see now and just see why, they don't understand why it's coming from a place of having known when not to have it, having known not having it, and realize I actually have the power, actually have the choice.
That's it.
All this while, and I've just realized it. And sometimes I still have to look and say, okay, you're having the hard up face. Okay, smile, break into a smile.
Thank you.
Yeah, but as I said, I can smile about it. But when we're talking, I told you the way that I can actually handle it now and flow with it, because it's something that is so heavy and dear to me that I want change to come into, is to just take it that, like this and just, okay, this, but then it is important, it is serious.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to say thank you very much for being a blessing, not just to me, but to many lives, because I believe a lot of people will still watch this video later and they will probably give you a call and ask, how did you do it? I want more. So be ready, because I believe God is taking you somewhere after today's show. Thank you very much. I want to say thank you to all our viewers as well. Thank you very much for always being there, because without you, there wouldn't be Beautiful Mind. Please, if you have been affected by anything at all that we have discussed here today, I wanted to just put a smile on your face and know that it is not the end of the world. No. It is just part of the journey. God is taking you somewhere, and you need to keep your mind intact, because when you're out of this situation, you need your mind to help you keep going. This is what I always say to people. Your mind is so powerful. And one of the key things to make your mind alive, to be beautiful, is to smile. So please, keep smiling, keep dancing. If you have to change your circle of influence, some people are in a cage and they believe they are among influencing people, but they are not. So search who you are with, who are your friends, who are your circle of influence. Are they keeping you in cage? Are they caging you, or are they allowing you, giving you wings to fly? Because the sky is surely enough for every one of us to fly in it. So please, it is not the end of the world, and marriage is not a do or die affair. It is not every one of us that will get married. No. And it is not a certificate that will get you to heaven. No. It is not. Even if you are a divorce, God does not hate you. No. These are all the means that we have all out there that makes people to bury themselves in shame, and and eventually some people die in it. So please, it is not a certificate to get you to heaven. No. No, God said he hates divorce because of what it allow or what people go through because of it. Not that he doesn't hate you. God loves you just as he loves everybody that is married. So please walk with your confidence because God is about to do something wonderful and unique in your life that no eyes have seen or ears have heard because it is the God's doing. Thank you. Thank you very much. I do really appreciate it. Please help us share this video because I believe a lot of people need to see it. Thank you to my producer, AY the Ambassador, for putting all of this together. I do really appreciate it. And if you need more org and get a copy of the book Be Beautiful. It is about renewal of mind because we need to renew our mind for our mind to be beautiful. And you can get in touch with me to get a copy as well. Please, please, you are for signs and wonders. Very much. Until next week, when I'll be bringing another informative and educative topic your way. I remain your host, Adeyinka Adeomi. Bye for now.